wanted to show you all something other than my clean car. Look at that. She's beautifully clean. It was so hot and sunny earlier already. 90-some degrees. I even recorded it myself at the car wash. I don't even know if it came out or not. She looks beautiful. The birds are chirping. Everything was fine. And now look. Without fail. Without fail. Every time that I wash my car, it could be like, there could be 2 suns outside. And I'm washing my car. And this happens. I was even saying in my video, they said it was going to rain this weekend. It hadn't even rained anything, and I said, well, let me just go ahead and wash my car because I don't want to like go around with it all dirty, especially for church tomorrow. And not that anybody at church is going to look like, oh, your car is dirty. Ew, sister, get it together. You know, let's all lay hands on you and pray for you. No, not even like that. But I just wanted to go with a clean car, you know? Now it decides, oh, she cleaned her car. Okay, clouds. Go to this street over here immediately. Report immediately. Look at it. Over there you could even see, look, the difference. Nice, beautiful blue sky. Just over here above where I live, cloudy. Black cloud. It looks very similar to the cloud of doom that my husband brings every time he comes home. But no, his are bigger. It'll actually rain, which it did when he was here. Look, even the cars, their lights are already going on. Everybody's lights are going on. It's getting dark. Well, I don't know what to say. I don't know what the grass is pretty, look. Hopefully it'll stay this way. Nobody's knocked down my sign right there. That sign was actually already here when we moved in. I didn't put it there. But everybody else is, I don't know if you can see that one. That one's been moved and bent, like they want to get rid of it. The only reason they don't do that to mine, whoever's doing that, like the lights already went on over there, but not these. The only reason everybody's even doing that is because they don't want to pick up after their pet. I guess they think that the poop fairy comes by to pick up their pet's poop. No questions asked. Ridiculous. Oh, look, some hope. Look. Right there, some hope. The sun wants to come out. They're like, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Come on, let me through. She just washed the car. At least give her a whole day. Give it today and tomorrow, okay? And then Monday, you guys can come back, cover me up, and it can rain all at once. I'll agree with that. Yeah, I'm for that. There's no lightning or anything. Oh, I forgot to tell you. At the Walmart, I was putting some gas. The Walmart market, that is. It's down that way. And you know what? You could even see in my room, you can see the sign for the gas. I don't know if you can hear it. Can you? I can see it, but I don't know if you all can see it. Maybe if I move, no? If I move this way, I become even shorter. I'm only 5'1". There it is, right there. See it? There was a kitten. There was a kitten outside the gas station. And I saw this guy trying to get it. And I'm like, oh, I hope he gets it because he looked like he really wanted it and he would take care of it. But then he saw me drive up and he went away. And I was like, I would have helped you, sir. Like, I would have helped you get it. And then when I was putting gas, I just heard the little meow. That help me. Help me. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I'm scared. You know, that kind of meow. And I'm like, you just had to wait for me, didn't you? Like, I can't take you. My cat will kill you. But I was like, still trying to get it anyway, you know? know, and it kept running away. Like it did the same thing to me that it did to the guy. It would run away, and I was like, man, like it's gonna get killed. I mean, this road, you can't even see it. These two roads right here, the intersection, always full of traffic. Always, people drive like idiots. And I'm afraid it's gonna get killed, and it's not gonna be able to be in the bushes. And right now that it's gonna rain, I'm like, man, it's gonna get all wet, you know? Like, ugh. And who do you call? It's Saturday. Who do you freaking call today? You know? I don't want it to be taken by animal control, and then they're gonna put it at the Humane Society, and then it's gonna go bye-bye in about a week, you know? When I wish I had a rescue, a cat rescue. Well, I also feel bad for the doggies, but eventually dogs. I think it's that bark right there. Wow, you could hear it all the way over here. Those two. Look, y'all, look how cloudy it is on that side. And my son said, there's gonna be vendors next door today, right when I get off of work. And I'm like, and they're gonna be selling a lot of Halloween stuff. All right, I'll go. There they go again. I don't know, the camera's picking them up. I kind of like this side better. No. Look, the clouds are turning to sun again. But look how pretty it is on the other side of that cloud. I think it'll push through. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know, because it's not windy. If it were windy, that cloud would just go ahead, you know, it won't stay right where it is. It won't stay put. But over here on this side, it's dark. So maybe it's going that way. Yeah, go that way. Rain on that side. Before, I lived on the other side of those train tracks, and before this side of town was like the rich side of town, and we almost moved into these apartments back here. They're really pretty. They really are, but I don't know. The Lord told me over here instead, you know? They were a little bit more expensive. They included the same thing that these do, but in fact, she still gives the owner there, she's a female, and she's young. She must be like in her 40s or something. She still gives you a free membership to the Gold's Gym for a year, which, hell yeah, you know, but it still wasn't enough to get me there. Like, I really like where we're at now. I like these so much better. And I got to meet some people here, you know? One annoying one in particular, but we're going to talk about her. So, I'm kind of mad at her, you know? I'm kind of mad. Per usual. Look, those two are flying together. Let's look to the sun. Yeah, I think that the clouds are going to push through. They're going to go that way. Opposite direction. I want to say so many things, and I forget what I was going to say. Well, as far as Eber, you know, she moved out already. She's been out for like 2 weeks and didn't hear from her. Thursday, I finally heard from her. And I was like, oh, joy, you know? And she's like, hey, what are you doing? I miss you all so much. It's so lonely over here at my house. I have nobody to talk to over here, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, I was about to text her back and say, I miss your dog. I miss Chaps. And I was like, okay, be nice, man. Yeah, I miss you too also. Both of you and Chaps, you know? And she's like, well, we can stop by on Saturday. Will you be home? And I said, yeah, but let me give you my son's schedule for this weekend, because Sundays I'm going to be a little bit more busier, but Saturday after 2 o'clock I'll be good, you know, whatever time you want to come. but just give me a heads up, you know. And she's like, do you like the Spurs? I don't have cable. And then she puts that little crying emoji. And I said, oh, because the cable's really expensive. And I'm like, yeah, you know. But she could always get internet. You know, she can get internet and stream, but I don't know if she wants to make that expense. But anyway, she's like, do you like the Spurs? And I'm like, no, I don't like sports, but if you want to watch it, I'll be open to it, you know, like no big deal. And she's like, oh, okay, well, I'll let you know for sure, because I'm waiting on a friend of mine to give me the heads up, because he said we could go watch it together at a restaurant, but he has his son this weekend, and so he's not sure. What does that sound like to you all? Look, the sun's coming. Yay! Let me go this way because the sun's so bright now. I don't know what that sounds like to you all, you know? To me, it sounds like I'm plan B, you know? And I was like, what the heck, you know? But I'm not really hurt about it. You know, I'm not like, oh, she's not gonna come to see me, you know, she prefers to be with her. No, I really don't care, because like I said, I miss her dog, not her. But anyway, it is lonely over here at first. You know, she was the only one that would get me out of my apartment. She would come by with her dog, and we would come out here and walk the dog around. You know, walk it up and down here, you know, and then walk around the complex. However, she did have her little nasty habits where she speaks without thinking, like that, word vomit. And this isn't the first incident, so let me put that out there. It's not the first incident that she does something like that. She's done other things, you know, said other comments. She even she didn't yell at my cat, but she told my cat to get over something because her dog wanted to be over here. And I said, oh, my cat's like upset right now, you know, and my cat wanted to fight the dog. And she was like, oh, Tabby, get over it, like that. And I was like, excuse me, this is her home. Like, I was upset about that, because I'm like, hey, I didn't say anything to your dog. I didn't say like, oh, Chaps, get over it, this is her house, not yours. You don't like it, leave, you know. I didn't say anything to her about that, you know. I was just like, what? Like, why are you talking to my cat like that? And if you're a pet person, you know, you don't like people talking to your pets like that. Like, what the hell? To come into your home and start telling your pets to behave and do this and that and get over it? No. Anybody would be upset, you know. But anyway, she's that type of a person. And then, I don't know if y'all remember, there was a cat with kittens. She said she was going to adopt the mom cat. Never happened, and I knew it wasn't. The kittens, she moved from her apartment over here under that white car, and she ended up calling animal control. Well, they came and they picked up all the kittens. According to her, she says they all got adopted. Really? That quickly? They told you that? And she's like, yeah. And I said, okay. And the mom cat was still apparently up for adoption. She would go take it food. She would go visit it at the pet store. She said she had convinced her mom to adopt it, and then last minute she went on her cruise. Came back 2 weeks later. Yeah, 2 weeks, not even 1 week. She came back 2 weeks later, and she's like, I went to go see if the mom cat was still there, but they told me she had gotten adopted. I said, I hope so. I really do hope so. But if you ask me, Petco probably got fed up with her stopping by. They're like, who's this lady bringing food for this cat, but she won't take it home? Like, screw her, you know? I hope they all got adopted. I really do. But yeah, I was really upset with her about that. Like, she should have just let them be, you know? Like, yeah, they would be out here in danger and stuff, but they have a risk, you know, like all animals out here, all cats do, of surviving and not surviving. but they get used to it and they'll survive. They'll find a way, you know. But she wouldn't leave them alone. She kept coming over here to the car, pestering them, feeding them, giving them water, making them think they have a chance to stay here and she'll take care of them, and separating that little family, which really bugged the shit out of me, you know. But I'm like, I don't like that kind of person, you know. I used to live, like I said, across the train tracks, which are further down. I used to live on the other side. Not a very privileged neighborhood. That's what I was talking about earlier, how before this side was like the rich side and that side was the poor side. Well, now this side is kind of like mediocre. If you really want the rich side of town, you have to go further the opposite direction, behind my back, you know, further out there to get into the richer neighborhoods, because now over here it's, like I said, mediocre. But anyway, and my mom used to say, it only rains for the rich, because it would only rain on this side all the time. It would never rain on that side of the tracks. It wasn't really true, but she would say that in Spanish. No, it only rains for the rich. But anyhow, look how pretty it looks over here. It's all clear on this side. Yep, look, it's clearing up. Yay! Over here, it's still dark, so it's going that way. So anyhow, yeah, like I said, I mean, I just didn't think she was a very good person, and I'm running out of breath because I'm starting to get hungry already. I've been up early today, and I'm hot too. So, but I was just like trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. You know, she would still come by anyway with her dog, and I'm like, hopefully the cats are okay. Wow, that, uh oh, here comes somebody. That bird came by really close. Okay, we're gonna stand on this side for now. And yeah, I just don't trust people like that. A person that would try to hurt animals like that. Just leave them alone. And now I remember what I was gonna say. My mom, we had a whole bunch of cats outside, and my stepfather would buy a big old jumbo bag of cat food to feed them all. And they loved it there. Well, when my mom passed away, unfortunately, the cats, I don't know whatever became of them, because my nephew has a pit bull. Now the pit bull is friendly. I think his name is Colby or Cody or something like that. And but it would run the cats off. However, there was one cat that was still there, a really pretty cat that I wish I would have taken, but didn't get to. It was still there at that time, and I'm talking years back. By now, I don't know if it's still there or not. Oh, you will. I think I'm gonna go inside because it's so hot out here now. Oh yes, much cooler. Okay. So, yeah, and I was really sad about that. I made a little cover there for my cat. The husband sits over here normally, or over here. He'll lay down over here. And my cat would go to the bathroom and he could see everything, and he's like, I don't like to see her, you know. And I said, no, I understand. She needs privacy. So when we went to the Dollar Tree, I got that trifold. And I put it there, and I'm like, look, now you can't see her. Only I can, but not that I look anyway, but I need to move it a little bit over this way. And then, of course, she's got her toys down here. Another box that she likes to lay in, and then I put an additional box right there. That big box that she'll go into and hide when she wants to, you know? My cat's an adult cat, you know, and recent grads may be left behind in AI boom. I seriously doubt it. Seriously doubt that. Whatever. People are like trying to push that narrative that, oh, AI is going to take over. We're all doomed. It's the devil and we're all going to die, and the robots are going to kill us. And oh, people really, like, you all have been watching too many sci-fi movies. All sci-fi's, I want to go watch Disclosure Day. I think that's what it's called. Using chatbots for emotional support. Yes. I use that ChatGPT. Hopefully I don't get monetized or striked. Yeah, I agree with that. That's why I go to a counselor, but she's of no help. Sorry, she's not. Look, while we're just sitting here. There she is. She's like, who are you talking to? My God. Here, let me get my stand. I washed my makeup brushes. Well, this right here is so good. I was asking on Easter, I asked my son and daughter-in-law if they had any chicken broth, and it was like this much that was in here. Yeah, that much. But all you do is use, what is it? 1.5 teaspoons and 1 cup of boiling water. And look at all the nutrients it has in it. All natural. And it makes a good amount. Hi, Mama. Hi. Are you relaxing in the fresh air? Very lucky kitty. I tell her that all the time. I said, you're a very lucky kitty. This is a candy that my son has gotten from Whatnot. Well, not that. Those he bought. This right here. All from Whatnot. I gave one of those boxes to my daughter-in-law yesterday. Those are my animal crackers. And as you can see, yeah, I need to do something with those bananas today. But, what was I saying? I forget what I say. I'm telling you, I forget what I want to talk about. Because there's so many things I want to talk about. And I have plenty of time to talk about it because my son gets out at 2, so I don't know why I'm in a hurry. I was talking about ChatGPT, and then I don't know what else I started talking about. Well, I do talk to ChatGPT, right? And I do try to go to it for advice, which is a big mistake on my part because there are times that it just upsets me even more. And it's not because it doesn't want to tell me what I want to hear, but mainly because it tends to side with the other side. Like, for example, the neighbor, what I just said. You know, and how she wanted to make plans with me today, but then she's like, but first, let me check with my other friend that I made plans with already. And I was telling the chat thing that, you know, who does that? Who makes plans with somebody, but then says, but let me just make sure my other plans don't fall through. If they do, then I'll go ahead and hang out with you. Like if I was the one that invited her over. It's like if I asked one of you all, hey, let's do breakfast this morning. You know, like yesterday I call you or I text you like, hey, what do you do? Let's have breakfast Saturday morning. And you're like, yeah, sure, why not? You know, like I'm open to it. And then all of a sudden I text you back and I was like, well, I do have plans already with somebody else, so I'll get back to you on that. If those plans don't go through, then yeah, I'll go visit you. I'll go have breakfast with you. Like if you invited me, but yet the idea came from me to go to you. Go figure. But anyhow, I'm like, whatever. But I was telling ChatGPT about that, and I was asking it, like, do you think I'm taking it too personal? You know, am I upset for nothing? And then it says, well, I wouldn't be too quick to say that you were plan B. And it's really not enough information to say that you really don't matter to her. And I'm like, what? Somebody makes plans with you and then cancels the plans in the next second to tell you, oh, I already had plans, but I was making plans with you, but I really don't want to hang out with you because, like I said, I already have plans with somebody else. if that doesn't work, then I'll go hang out with you, you know? And it would still agree with her. It was still like, oh, well, I see how you could have taken that wrong, but it's really not. I don't think it came intentionally from her, because sometimes people say things that they don't really mean and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Making some coffee roll. I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah, and that was pissing me off more than the conversation that I had with her, that this bot had the nerve to make it seem like I was just being too emotional. What? You know, like, And so, I need to get my water. I'm so thirsty, but I don't want to come out on camera. Then we'll face you that way. Yeah, we'll face them that way. I want to wash my face though. Hold on. Before I wash my face, I need to wash my glasses too. It's starting to get really hot. Do y'all ever use these from Sam's? These right here. I like them, but it always does a dramatic fall in the sink. That's what you hear right there. It'll, one of these days I'll record it just to show you the big fall. get Papa. Let's go get Papa. Papa, yes. Yummy, yummy. We've already eaten like the 5th time today. So anyhow, I went pee also, you all. Sorry that took long. Did you all happen to see any paranormal stuff? Let me know in the comments down below because I've never experienced anything here, but you never know, you know? I was looking at the TV while I was changing out of my clothes. It's a Roku TV, and you know, on the side there'll be like a commercial of something, but it won't be playing. It'll just show you a picture of whatever it's advertising, an ad perhaps, and it was a bowl, and it looked like it had rice or something. I don't know. I couldn't tell what it was, and I was like, just thinking, oh, that looks good, and I'm looking at it while I'm changing my clothes and everything. And then I realized on the bottom it says farmer's dog. It was dog food. Yeah. Well, but at least it looked good. It looked healthy. It looked like those nutritional bowls, you know, like, anyhow, you know. And I was like thinking like, man, you know, my son's going to be off the rest of the afternoon. I know he's going to be like, no, I don't want to go to the movies. I really want to see Disclosure Day. I don't know, I'm getting all hyped up about it now, especially in this weather, you know, like, is it going to rain? It's not going to rain. I really don't care if it does, and then my car gets all wet. I don't care. They need to put carports here anyway, they really do, to protect against other elements, like the sun, the hail, you know, stuff like that, but I seriously doubt that they will. I wonder if I get, like, what do you call that? Estimates. Maybe if I get different estimates and I bring it up to the landlady, hey, what about this, you know? Because, yeah, the sun hits directly on our vehicles all day, every day. That's the only thing negative that I can tell you about living here. That's just the only way. If there's only one thing that I could name, that would be it, you know? Yesterday, though, I don't know how this person came in, but I get a doorbell ring and they wouldn't let up. They kept ringing my doorbell, ringing the doorbell, right? And I looked through the camera and it's a young guy, and I said, oh man, he's selling something because he's holding his phone and a little tablet. And I'm like, man. And then I was like, I don't know if I'm going to answer. Maybe I shouldn't answer. And it was still kind of early. It was like 6:30, maybe 7:30. And I'm like, man. And so he starts knocking on my door, like he heard me come up to the door, which there's no way, you know? And I was just like, fine. So I opened the door, right? And I'm like, yes. And then I'm over here cleaning my hands because I was eating some chips, you know, some of these nacho tortilla chips. These right here, because I wanted a little snack, because the last one that I ate was way earlier, like around 2, and it was just some soup. And I was like, yes. And then he's like, oh, hi, my name is da 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 da. And he goes, do you prefer English or Spanish? And I said, English. I said, not that I don't understand Spanish. I'll understand Spanish. But if you want to communicate, for me to communicate back in Spanish, we're going to have a problem because I don't know a lot of Spanish. And I'm like, should I just give him the full detail about why I don't know a lot of Spanish? Well, in case you all don't know why I don't know a lot of Spanish, it's because back in the day in my neighborhood, it was all Hispanic, right? The schools, they weren't even like white or nothing. They were also Hispanic, you know? The majority of the kids, Hispanic, you know, poor neighborhood like I talked about over there across the railroad tracks. However, in that school that I went to, the elementary school, they told us every day, do not speak Spanish in these classrooms. If you speak Spanish, you will get the corner. Like you were going to be put in timeout. Well, who wanted that? And then you wouldn't get to go outside, you know? And I was like real tomboyish back then, where I wore skirts with tennis shoes and stuff, and I loved playing outside in the monkey bars and in those other bars, and we would put one leg on top of the other and just roll around in there. And back then, when you're thinner and lighter, and it was fun, you know. All of that's been taken out, by the way. And there was also a slide that we would slide down, and the merry-go-round was the best ever. Kids nowadays wouldn't even know what a merry-go-round is. Some of you listening are probably like, what's a merry-go-round? Like, you spin yourself around and you say Mary, Mary or something? Like, merry-go-round, merry-go-round. Pass the pot around. Is that what a merry-go-round is? No, a merry-go-round was an equipment in a playground where you would all either lay down or sit down, and somebody would spin it as fast as they could. And it was so much fun. And they would do it until you puked. Sometimes you would puke, sometimes you wouldn't. Consider it a good day. 80s kids, you know? But anyhow, or Gen X rather, Gen X. So, yeah, we weren't allowed to speak Spanish. I almost forgot what I was talking about. I remembered again. We weren't allowed to speak Spanish, and you would also get sent to the principal's office if you did it continually. So you had to know English, and you had to speak English all the time. So that didn't really bother me, you know, like my mom spoke to me in both languages anyway. My siblings spoke in both languages as well, which is a good thing, because nowadays, look, there's our forecast. I'm not in Corpus, so I'm not worried about it, but apparently it's going to rain in Corpus on Monday. Okay, what about closer to me? Corpus is like 3 hours away from me. Here we go. Starting tomorrow, of course. So it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, just like I mentioned earlier, but hopefully it won't, because things change around here. It'll be like, oh yes, you're gonna get this, but then you get snow all of a sudden out of thin air. And let me tell you, it never snows down here, but all of a sudden it'll happen unexpectedly. But yeah, so I think it's really important now for kids, no matter what state you live in, that they know Spanish, because you have the Latinos everywhere around the world. I don't care if you even live in Alaska, there's Latinos there. How they ended up over there, I have no idea, but they are there, and they're there. And any person that speaks really good Spanish, you're going to get hired. You're very hireable, and you're going to get a very high income because of that. So yeah, I think it's very important to know both. I've even considered trying to pick up some more Spanish while I don't do anything around the house. You know, I cleaned yesterday, and whenever I'm bored, you know, start trying to learn another language, you know. Of course, my Spanish. I would like to know Italian, which is very close to it. I would also like to know French. French, however, is very difficult. I was watching a movie on Tubi yesterday, and all they spoke was French. And it had subtitles, but the subtitles were moving so quickly. The only thing I understood was oui. And I would even answer, like, I would hear them ask a question, and I'd be like, oui. And the person, you know, would be like, oui, or wait, like that. They would say it really quick, and I was like, huh? Is it oui or wait? I don't know. But the only thing that I've learned in French is je m'appelle Moon. Et vous? That's the only thing I know. and parlez-vous français? Just Bois. That's it. That's all I know. And I would like to learn also, but I'm pretty sure it's very, very difficult. That's my stomach. I'm getting hungry already. I'm gonna make some oatmeal right now. Swedish. Why? I have no idea, because am I ever gonna go to Sweden now? But it's a very complex language. There's been people, believe it or not, here where I live, that I've heard speak in Swedish. And I'm wondering, how the hell did you end up here? How'd you end up here in South Texas? You know? No idea. And of course, you're Vietnamese. I would like to learn that as well. Apparently, I can't talk and move at the same time anymore. And the sole reason that I even want to learn Vietnamese is because I want to see what they're talking about when you go get your nails done. I don't think it's fair that they're back there going blah blah blah, blah 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 blah, and you're like, what did you say? Okay, yes, it's been a while since I've done my nails. I'm sorry. Oh, now you're making fun of my feet. You know, like, I want to know what they're saying. I hope my son has another spoon. My silverware keeps missing. Everybody forgets that they are actual metal or whatever they use, look. And they think it's plastic and they'll throw it. It's not plastic. But they throw it. My husband's the same way. I'm like, no. So I am down now to 3 spoons, 4 large forks, because the smaller forks are all gone. Somebody just threw those away. And I'm pretty sure it was somebody in my husband's family, because they come over, they eat, and they think that they're not real, and they'll throw them out. Of course, he denies it all. And I tell him, from now on, we are buying plastics. We are not using silverware. Let me go look over here and get some silverware. Nope. It's gone. This closet is open. I hate for the closet to be open. Let me put some clothes in the dryer. It's actually my son's bed sheet. And some of these throws we have on top of the bed. Okay, I like there's also some of my stuff in here too. Now that I find it. Oh. A moment of silence again. It sounds like I'm in the washer. I am. It's so deep. No. Oh. Hopefully I'm not coming out. If I do, I'm deleting. Or I'll shorten it. So if you watch it and you're like, wait, hey, what happened to the rest of the video? I shortened it. Let's get some. I don't think I came out because it's facing the wall. Let's get some coffee, shall we? Before I lose my marbles. Last night, you all, I was watching a movie Well, first of all, the song came into my head. And I was like, man, I really like that song. And I started looking for it. And then I remembered, hey, why don't I just look for the soundtrack? I'm going to face you all really quick on this side so that I can get the remote. Let's move you more over here. There we go. From what it looks like, it's supposed to rain the rest of the week. And I was like, why did I just put the soundtrack and the song popped up? I was like, what? Okay, I'm gonna face you all the way because do I really want you to see my history? No, I don't. Okay, not too bad. Look, there's one person that I like to watch a lot that I agree with some of the time. This is the movie I'm talking about, and I watched it again last night. If you all haven't seen this movie, you all have to watch it. It's cheesy, I know. I was a very, very young teen. I was barely getting into my teens. No, I wasn't even a teen yet. It was a year before I became a teen that this movie came out, and believe it or not, I was watching that and I had no idea that male strippers even existed, okay? And this is the song that I was looking for. Now, I don't know, I'm not gonna be able to play it. Let's wait for after the commercial. There we go. Okay, unfortunately, that's all I'm gonna play because I don't want to get flagged or anything like that because YouTube is so good about that. But yeah, this movie right here, I'm fixing to watch it again. I love it so much. I didn't even finish my coffee. Like, I didn't even pour any. There's a scene there with Christopher Atkins. Oh, you know what? I forgot about my oatmeal boiling over here. With Christopher Atkins, who was one of the biggest heartthrobs in my time. And he came out in a lot of movies, like The Blue Lagoon. However, in that movie, I didn't find him as attractive. You know? Let me put these sticks away. They're getting on my nerves, being on the counter. Just like all this candy that's up there, it's getting on my nerves. But anyway. There's a scene in here where he's dancing. That's the end. It's oh man. I like her husband. I know she was lonely and everything, and her husband was like going through something. He lost his job. But I'm like, come on now, your husband's like hot. You know, a hot older man. Like, try to be more understanding instead of jumping in the sack with this idiot over here. Well, he's not an idiot, but you know, he was a stripper. Like, come on now. Oh yeah, that's when she got home. She was all like, you know, she wanted her husband because she just saw Ricky Rocket. Let me see if that's a part. So it's a little blurry there. Oh yeah, that's when before Ricky Rocket comes out. So they take her out. She's a professor, okay? She flunked Ricky. because of something stupid he said, which was no big deal, but she failed him. I'm like, you can't fail a student just for that, you know, like, but whatever. This was back then. And her sister, who's sitting next to the girl in the red, her sister gets her all dressed up. Oh, I think that's where they leave. Let me go back a little bit more. Her sister gets her all dressed up and takes her to a strip club, and Ricky happens to work there. Okay. Tell me you all wouldn't find that sexy. Okay, I'm gonna turn it down again for a little bit. So I don't get reported. Tell me you guys would not find that like, whoa. Okay. Let's get out of that. Look, I also watched Christina Randall, and I try to be nice to everybody everywhere, Christina, but it's hard. You know how she says, now remember, oh, my oatmeal. Hang on, y'all. The milk. Just remember, you all, be nice in the comments down below, and be nice to everybody, everywhere. That's what she says. So I'm like, I will try. I'm never mean in the comments down below, though. I never comment anything bad. Other people do. I don't. I don't really like to comment anymore on videos because, yeah, some people are just deranged, you know? They give you their opinion about what they think about your comment, and you're like, what? I'm sorry, did I ask for your agreement or disagreement? No. But they just want to like prove you wrong some way, somehow. But anyway, I watched The Angry Man. I've never heard of this channel. Echo, some Unleashed. I've never heard of it, but I'll watch it about Trump. I watch him, Peter. Oh, apparently there's another movie. Oh, Sent Emos 5. You know, and I said Emos, not emo. Yeah, I liked that movie when it first came out. But not really. I liked everybody in it. I used to think, I think his name is Judd Nelson. I'm not sure. The guy on the very last left next to Ali Sheedy. I used to like him. He got ugly. He got weird. Emilio Estevez, oh yeah. And especially Andrew McCarthy, I think that's his name. Yeah. Andrew McCarthy is still very handsome for his age, and so is Emilio. Both of them, they did not get, they don't look like they didn't take care of themselves, let me put it that way. And then in the very back you see Rob Lowe with the sunglasses. I used to have the hots for Rob Lowe, but not really. And then you have Demi Moore there. I guess she's Demi. I guess she's there. I don't know if she's on a steering wheel or something, or is she just holding something? I don't know. No. I've always been in love with Keanu Reeves. Always. I watch Sheriff Lamb, Timcast, IRL, yeah, I'll watch those. The Book of Genesis. Oh. Oh, I didn't even know they had that. Well, but why does that look like an alien? Maybe I'll watch it. Since I'm like really wanting to watch something on aliens. I'm just gonna leave it right there. I'll pause it. Alright, you all. I'm gonna have my breakfast. Thank you for hanging out with me. You all enjoy your day. I thought I paused you. Excuse you. Thank you. You all enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. And I will talk to you all again soon.